Hi, this is Paul, and I've had a few of my group members in Publish, Speak, and Prosper, which is a private group on Facebook, and they're asking me for some help in areas that they've kind of struggled with. And so I started doing some research on the biggest frustrations that entrepreneurs who are starting out struggle with. And when you're being mentored, whether it's in speaking or whether it's in writing and becoming a best-selling author, is it seems like there's this long, arduous process that has to, take a lot of time and it's difficult. And that was one of the goals I had when I started this group that now has it's over 100 members, and you're more than welcome to come in. I can send you a link. But the biggest difficulty that whether it's speakers or writers have is in standing out. And so the one thing that can help you more than anything, and this is my bit of advice, is to have a voice of not just authority, but authenticity. And you achieve that by doing several things. One is you have to let go of the scripts. You have to let go of being polished and perfect, but be to the point where you can be so genuine and speak from the heart. And it's actually when you mess up that people like gravitate to you. It's just kind of amazing. And the number one complaint, you know what that is? It's time. People are just under time constraints, and it seems like all of this process takes so long and it's so difficult. And I don't think it has to be. I mean, sure, it took me 7 years to figure out this process, but why should it take you hour upon hour upon hour to learn this thing? I mean, I've got a process so you become a best-selling author in a weekend just by joining with me in an anthology book. So that's one of the things that we have. Then having access to the networks. Have you ever heard the saying where it's not what you know, but it's who you know? And a lot of times the influencers kind of hang out in the same crowds. So if you have like a mastermind with 30 people that have paid, $10 or $25,000 to be in the room just for that meeting, it's significant. And so when you have those type of contacts, it can really make a difference. And so one of the things that I like to share is how I've been able to gain access to some major influencers and some of the techniques that I've done, and I'm sharing that in the group. So the one superpower I'd say that I have to share is how to create compelling content. And there's something that I discovered in writing, it's been now 3 best-selling books, is that what people really like is they like stories of how you've gone from struggling to success. And it's something that you can develop as a storyteller, but also it's pretty amazing in your speech how you can learn how to craft your signature message. It's a course that I took that's just an amazing course. And if you want access to that, I'd be happy to share it with you. And you'd be paying the same price that I paid, and it's definitely worth it. It's just a few $100s. And so the marketing and promotion that, a lot of people are trying to do it organically. And sometimes if you get 25 or 30 eyeballs on your message on your Facebook profile, or if you do Instagram, you have 200 and 300 maybe views. But it just seems like there's no traction with the marketing unless you do these paid ads. And I'll tell you, once you get on the paid ad wagon with Facebook or Instagram or really any of them, then everything has to be driven monetarily. So I really encourage you to do it organically, and especially if you're on a shoestring budget like I was. And so, with all of this, it seems like, why does it have to cost so much? And why is there a lack of personalization? When they have all this insight, but it seems like it always leads to buying another thing. And so in this group, we have a lot of people that have extremely high talents. And whether it's the speaking genre or else it's the writing, they kind of go together. And my goal is to create a community where we marry the two together. is why can't an in-demand speaker become a best-selling author? And why can't a best-selling author become an in-demand speaker? Because the whole thing is when you marry the two, you have a prosperous entrepreneur. I'll guarantee it. There's nothing that will create more income for you than really speaking. It's a powerful thing. And so it seems that everything is so sales oriented. And one of the things I really like, and I've spent 40 years in sales, I train salespeople, but the real art in it is actually in my first book. It's right up here, Coaching Inc. And it's maybe you can't see it, but it's right up here. And I teach how to close a high ticket sale in a one call close. And the thing is, it's a technique that I learned that allowed me to be the top salesperson in the nation in several companies. And it's not by coercion, and it's not by stress or strain or, really, putting your force on it, but it's all in how you connect with your potential client. And there's an art to it. And the chapter that I wrote in there is called Top Gun Coaching, and it's instruction that I learned from a Top Gun fighter pilot instructor. And it's all about effective communication. And so, with everything said and done, to me, my number one goal for people in the community is to become successful. And everybody has their own definition of success. And whether that's successful as far as financially, successful in being able to reach more people with your message, successful in just being content and, feeling like your movement, your message is tied to your movement. And you have like really purpose and meaning in that. And so I'd like you to reach out to me if you'd like an invitation to my group. It's free of charge. There's no charge at this point. But and this group will always be free, so you don't have to worry about it. Nothing's going to change. But there's resources in there that will really make a difference. I really feel so. And the people that are in there are some of my closest and dearest friends that I've met in the speaking school and also in the writing genres that I practice in. So come and join us. We'd love to have you. So it's called the Publish, Speak, and Prosper private Facebook group, and you're more than welcome.